Hey guys, welcome to a series of videos we're going to do about training for the Open. So we're going to talk about some skills that you're almost guaranteed to see in the Open. We're about, I think it's 40 days away, 36 days away. So we're going to work on some technique stuff. The best gains you're going to have, in my opinion, at this point, are going to be just from cleaning up some simple technique stuff. So there's some movements, like I said, you're going to see in the Open that you need to practice. So you're going to practice them as skills and not really as a strength building thing. We'll do a series of these. The first thing we're going to do is toes to bar, right? If you're a student of history, if you've participated in more than one Open, toes to bar comes in every year in a slightly different format, but it's always there. So let's talk about how to make your toes to bar a little bit more efficient. Most of that just comes from a good, solid kip. One of the problems we see all the time with the toes to bar is people kind of losing control. They end up swinging out of control, and it usually looks something like this, right? They're on the bar, then maybe they get a couple, but then they have to come down and they start swinging. They have to wait for a second, and then they come back up, and then they come back out. Right? So if this happens to you, most likely the problem is just simple physics. When you're hanging onto the bar, you're basically a pendulum. Okay? And just like Newton kind of explains, for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. So if I take my center of mass, which is basically right between my belly button and my pubic bone, and I move it off of this line. So I want you to watch what happens. If I move my center of mass behind this thing, if this comes off out of control, it's going to swing the other way, right? Just like you would a pendulum if I pushed a pendulum. So as I jump up here, and I move my hips forward, you can see that now I swing back. And this isn't me generating it, this is just simple momentum. So I have to wait until I'm under center, come back down. Right, my hips swing out of the way, they come back down, and I start swinging uncontrollably. The faster you do it, the more out of control you get. So how do we fix that? Well, the easy fix is getting this swing much more from the shoulder and a lot less from the hip. So I'll do one more bad one. And what I want you to notice is my shoulders will probably stay right beneath this line, right, in this beam in the pull-up ring. So we'll do 3 or so. Lose control, come up. Lose control, come up, lose control, right? The trick here is going to be to keep your center of mass underneath the pole, right, while your shoulder does the movement. So when you see a good efficient toes to bar, what you'll probably notice is that the shoulder is doing the movement and not the hip. So here's a good toes to bar, nice and controlled, nice and quick, right? So we get a little swing, come behind the bar and up, behind the bar and up, behind the bar and up. Notice how much more movement there is in the shoulder. That's really the secret to getting a good, efficient toes to bar. By pulling the shoulders back, keeps your center of mass underneath the bar and allows you to do a bunch. So a couple ways to practice is just moving from the shoulder. Just practicing kip, right? Simple. Getting the shoulder to do the moving and not the hip. So again, just practicing trying to get the shoulder back, and not just swinging the feet out in front of you. If you can get that, the toes to bar is really, really simple. If you can have somebody spot you and just push your shoulders back, you'll feel this control a lot easier than just trying to do it on your own. So just a simple little spot, kind of getting you to move from the shoulder and feeling the difference. The kip is the same, whether it's toes to bar, chest to bar pull up, regular pull up, muscle up, the kip should be the same. So you practice that kip, everything gets easier. All right? So stay tuned, we're gonna have a couple other videos coming out about some other skills to practice, but toes to bar is the first one. Practice it when you're fresh, try and get better. Let us know if you have any questions.